Good evening, everyone,
and welcome to today's live session.
Absolutely.
It's Friday 9 p.m., the day when we go
live on how to ace your career.
And welcome to today's live session.
Oh, that's okay, nice.
So guys, like we said, it's Friday 9 p.m. and each evening we come here on various topics to help you on how to ace your career.
Absolutely.
And these topics generally come from your polls, the polls that we have been posting and you've been responding.
Yes.
So it's all meant for each one of you, and I'll be really glad to see how you all are doing through the entire session. Do you have any questions? You can write to us in any way that we can help you. Please let us know while we are doing the session. To start, let us really introduce ourselves, because who are we and why we're talking about this career is really very important.
Yes.
So I'm Nutan, I'm a career and a life coach.
I'm Dheeraj, I'm a career life coach and business coach.
And we have been in this profession for almost a decade now.
Yes.
And in the last 2 years, we thought of expanding ourselves. We were doing professionally quite well, successfully doing our business with our individual clients. But what more important was, how do we reach to masses?
Yes.
People who cannot afford us, but they would still benefit from what we are teaching. So we've developed some certain framework on where we reach out to people. One of them is this, which is an absolutely free live session, which we decided that we are going to do it for an entire year.
Absolutely, one complete year, and every week we come with a topic that will help you to ace your career. All these topics and all these solutions that we give you is based on whatever learnings we had, whatever experience, whatever people that we could meet and gather, and all this that we have used with ourselves and our clients, and which has produced 100% results. And that is what we share with you. We can promise you one thing, that if you follow us regularly and you follow all these tips that we are giving you, you will, I'll repeat, you will get guaranteed results. That's something that we can promise you. So today's topic, anyhow, is again, a topic is something that's sad, but there is a lot of hope and there is a lot of optimism in today's topic. And that topic is, how do you rebuild your career after losing your job? Of course, nobody should lose their job. It's not a great position to be. But even if you've lost a job, how do you rebuild your career? That's what we are going to talk about today.
Right. So I would really like to welcome all those who have joined in here. If I can just look at the names who are there. Welcome, Gagandeep. I'm sorry to hear that you are in this situation currently, which we are just discussing.
Yes.
Who else is there?
So we have Gagandeep, we have Varun Bhatia, we have Kshitija, and we have Rajveer Raj. So welcome all of you, and thank you very much for being live, and all those who are going to watch us later or who have not mentioned their name. Thank you, all of you. So Gagandeep, sorry to listen to what you've been through, but let me tell you today what we're going to talk about. If you apply that, if you follow that, 100% you might get a job.
So earlier, if you all know, that few months back, the buzzword was great resignation. Massive resignation going on, people demanding what they want, and 90% hike, 70% hike, and they're just leaving jobs.
Absolutely.
Now, large layoffs or massive layoffs is the buzzword. So dear friends, life is a cycle of ups and downs.
Yes.
How do we deal with this challenge is really very crucial.
Very true.
These situations in life, either they can make you or break you. What would you like to do is a crucial question at this point of time.
Absolutely. If you want to take this situation as a stepping stone to further your career, then you are at the right place. Today, we are going to discuss how do you rebuild your career after losing your job. Because the fact is, this keeps happening.
Okay? Absolutely right.
It's something very common. Earlier, maybe 20, 30 years back would have been uncommon. But today, it's a common scenario that at times there is so much of hiring and at times there is so much of firing going on.
Right. So if you remember, like you said, earlier the layoffs would happen probably with few people in the organization.
Yeah.
Today the situation is massive layoffs happening. But in whatever reason, if you've lost a job, either by a massive layoff or by something which has gone wrong in the organization, or you've been a part of the politics and you were the target, the most important, the first step to do if this has happened with you is remember it is not the end of the world.
Absolutely.
Why people are not able to deal with this is because they really crash down. They feel that this was something just not expected. They feel so discouraged and so demotivated that picking themselves up becomes a real big difficulty. I can understand that you may feel upset, angry, the feeling of why me, getting victimized, but all these feelings are not really going to help you.
Another biggest concern, what people think about you. We keep thinking, what will people think about you? What will family? Now, what I'm going to tell my children, I'm home, what I'm going to tell my wife. And that thought of humiliation. People will look down on you, or, how will you face your own family member? Just takes you in a spiral of vicious circle. So, what you need to do is, you need to gather yourself, start again. And the next step you need to do is,
so the next step is take a break.
yes.
I know you'll be surprised that here I've lost my job and what are you talking? But believe me, friends, to start afresh, you need that positive vibe, the energy to
Yes.
bounce back. And if you have to bounce back, the first thing is take a break, because this entire feeling would be so strong in you that you would be stuck and you just cannot do anything.
Very true.
And when you're stuck mentally, physically, emotionally, you just cannot move ahead.
Because if you want to have a breakthrough, if you want to have been cracking an interview, as you all know, today is all about EQ. And emotionally, if you're not in a great space, if you're not in a great state, it's going to be very difficult. And that is why you need to take a break. At the same time, it's very important. Proximity is power.
So, if you have to take this break, you have to really be with people who are positive.
Yes.
Whether they are friends, family members, whoever it could be. Be with only those people who at this point of time can encourage you. That will give you space and time to process this entire information.
Absolutely.
What has happened with you? Why it has happened with you is a later question on what you can do to not let this happen again. But first, just give yourself that space and time that, okay, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. This has happened with me. But it's the best part of life is when something has gone wrong. It's a good thing to reach out to your people and say, this is the time I need you to take care of me, pamper me. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
I keep doing that with my husband many a times when I'm really exhausted, stressed. I go to him and see that this is the time I need from you exclusively so that I bounce back, right?
Absolutely. And also, try to be with those people. At times like this, we lose our confidence. We start doubting ourselves. And that's where there is a challenge in our own belief system. We're not able to believe in ourselves. And that's where you need to be with those people who believe in you. Let it be your parent, let it be your wife, let it be your friend, let it be your mentor, let it be senior. Like I have coached a lot of people who have lost their job and come to me 2 years, 2.5 years, 8 months, 9 months. And when I first met them, the first thing I could see in them, they lost their belief system. And the first thing I have done is I've instilled a lot of belief system in them. Just because you've been removed doesn't mean all that what you've achieved, all that what you've done, it just got disappeared. You have everything in you and you have all the power to go out there and crack that job. And that's how in the span of, minimum 40 days, 3 to 6 months, I'm able to help people to get their job back. So that's the kind of people you need to be, who's going to instill that belief in you that you can make it happen.
Right. Now, once you feel charged and are ready to face the world, then the next step is sit back and reflect.
Yes.
What do you need to reflect? Are you really happy where you are in your career? Do you really want to make a shift or a change? If you feel that you're happy, you don't want to make a change, you can go to the next step, which we are going to discuss ahead. But if you feel that you're not happy, in the rut of daily life demands, you just don't get a chance to sit peacefully and think that, can I make a shift? Do I take a different track to my career? Is there something else that I could do better because of the understanding that I've developed about myself over these years of work? So here is that time. You've got an opportunity of restarting your life or your career. Guys, many a times we want that time, but we are not getting it. So instead of looking at this entire thing as a punishment, why not look at it as an opportunity come to you that you have got a chance to restart your career? I'll give you one of the examples of one of my clients who was into her work life for 7-8 years, doing quite well, but many a times she would say that, there's more to life than what I'm doing. Can I do something different? And when this situation happened with her, we actually reworked together and she wanted to take a different track altogether.
Very true.
She had done a graduation, like we all know, many a times we choose graduation because of peer pressure or pressure from the parents, and you don't really think too much about it, because not, as Indians, not all of us are really used. In fact, most of us are not used to reaching out to professional service to understand which is the right career for you. We just choose it based on either parent pressure or the trend that is going on, or based on your academic qualification. It has nothing to do with your area of interest, motivation, your
Yes.
personality type. So here is the time to do that. Sit back and see if you can seek help. So this client of mine, when we did this entire thing, I realized that she's more interested in business management side, not in what she was doing sitting behind the desk. Instead, she would love reach out to people and work on the revenue of an organization. She applied to universities abroad. She took up her MBA degree, and today she's so happy and successful in a different country, enjoying her career. She's making much more money than what she was making earlier, and she's doing it in the field of area of her interest.
Absolutely. So, what is very, very important is, these are the times where we get time for reflection, which means the fact remains that you need to believe in a philosophy. Life is happening for me, not to me. That's a very, very crucial thing. Okay? Because when you believe life is happening for me, it's happening for a reason. So what he said is, you may say, "Arey yaar, idhar job nahi hai, paisa nahi aane wala," aur tum bole relax karo, tum bole, go to your family, have a very open-hearted conversation, and telling them very, very honestly, "You know what? This is the situation. I might take some time. So please support me, be with you. I can promise you, that's beauty about families and friends. They're always with you. That much I can promise, because I have been through that phase for some time, not for a long time, but it was for a short span. And I could see the massive difference when I communicated with my family and my friend, and the support that I got was massive. And that's how I took a different trip altogether. I left my job and I started something of my own, and today I'm doing extremely well.
Well, of course, this client of mine didn't have responsibilities. She was a young lady who had done well for herself, was not married, so she got this choice
Yes.
of exerting this at that point of time. Not many of you will be able to do it to restart education.
Absolutely.
But there can be something else that you can do which is short term, but it can help you change your career. So the next step is really decide what you want to do ahead. You want to continue in the same field or change your career track?
Or you want to get into doing something of your own, because let me tell you, India is growing exponentially, and there is a lot of scope and lot of future for being an entrepreneur also. And skills are more valued. If you have certain expertise in a certain domain, then there are a lot of options available in the market where you can go ahead and do something of your own. That transition also can give a different life altogether for you. So that also you can think about, that do I want to do the same job, change my career, or want to do something of my own?
But important is to take a decision and freeze on it.
Absolutely.
So you remember the first step. What was the first step, guys? People who are listening can write. I will reiterate once again so that you don't forget. So first, remember it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely.
Second, take a break.
Relax, enjoy.
Third, sit back and reflect.
Yes.
Do you want to make a change in your career? Do you want to restart again on a different track? And either I want to continue in the same field or not. I want to take a new trajectory to my career.
It's a decision. Absolutely.
It's a decision. And this decision, there is a process of making a decision. So guys, whenever you're thinking that what I need to do further, always come up with at least 3 options.
Yes.
And then put in every bit of it, what will go well and what will not go well. Once you've realized what all these options, how will it go in the right direction and how will it not go in the right direction, put all that on a piece of paper. Believe me, your mind will give you a clarity on which is the right way to go.
Absolutely right. Then what you need to do is again reflect. What are some of the changes you need to make in yourself that you don't face such a situation in life again? So there could be a reason, could be that you were not matured to handle the situation in the office. Now learn the rules of the game. There's one of a client I'm coaching, like, he was missing one thing which is very important is how to handle situation. He was a very upfront guy, very emotional guy, very outburst kind of guy. And that is why, his number came in the organization. I told him, will you like to reflect? Is there anything you feel that could have been changed in you that things would have not been like this? And he said, yeah, probably I would have been more diplomatic. I think things would have not been like this. I said, wow, that's great. So probably which means you feel you need to be more diplomatic. Yes. And second, he said, yeah, maybe I could learn, communication. I think I'm very, very harsh on my communication. So probably if I can learn. So, there was a nice in the kind of introspection that was happening. And then we said, okay, great, that's amazing. So let's reflect and let's work on this. Same way, what is your attitude? Like, if you see there are a lot of people who have an attitude, are pagar milta hai, utna kaam karo. Now, whenever there is a layoff, these are the first people on the list who are always there on the list that jitna pagar milta hai, utna kaam karo. I never did that in my job. She never did that. In fact, people used to say, are itna karke kuch nahi milta. But then today where we have reached is only because of that. So you need to check on your attitude.
So, maybe you've not kept yourself upbeat with what's happening in the latest.
Yes.
Could be technology, could be any skill, could be the knowledge of your subject. Things have changed in your field, but you've not upgraded yourself. You feel what you have is enough and you've not moved on.
Yes.
That could be one of the reasons.
Maybe even, there's one client I'm coaching, the problem that he has, relationship. He's a lonely guy. I say, how many people do you know? Nobody. How many people you interact? Nobody. What work comes, I do it. I don't want to keep any relation with people. I don't want to handle all that. I'm happy being lonely. Now, this is a challenge. If you want growth, today life is not only about working. Life is about networking. You need to have great relations. But for that, you need to be in a great emotional state. So check all these things that will help you that you don't do the same mistake and the same thing happens with you again.
So, that's one very crucial thing, because no matter how much you may feel that I don't deserve this, but there is some reason. It could be 80% the company's fault, but 20% is definitely yours. What is that 20% that you need to work on is something which you need to sit back and reflect. The other thing that you can do is look at a person whom you can really trust.
Yes.
Someone who can give you a fair view about you.
Yes.
What is that is lacking in you? And if you can trust that person, then make amends to what was something which you should have worked on long time ago. You didn't do it, and that is why you suffered this blow. For example, for me, in my very first job, I made a mistake, a huge mistake of going against my own stakeholders, complaining about him to someone else. The result was I was asked to invite, in spite of being a performer, in the regional conference where I was awarded, at the end of the conference, I was asked to put down my papers. So, I was very naive, very new. I really didn't know how the company works. I learned lessons along the way. So this 11 years of my career, the mistakes that I've made, probably that motivated me to become a career coach.
Yes.
And that is why today I'm in this profession where I want to help people not make the same mistakes that I did while I was working.
Absolutely. The sixth step, okay? Make those changes in yourself. But most important, it's not easy to work on yourself. Who wants to go against yourself and push yourself? Nobody is comfortable. So nobody likes, people say you need a, willpower, you need it. No, nobody has the willpower to, hurt yourself or go give pain to yourself. But you need to have a mentor, a coach who will help you sail through this situation and who will make those changes in you, who will tell you these are the changes you know. And it's not easy. Like I have a mentor, we have 3 mentors, spiritual, professional, and health. And 29 years I have a mentor with me. And time and again I go to him because he's the one person who helps me to go through those phases, those changes. It's changes not easy. It is very difficult, and especially changing yourself. It's like identifying your weaknesses, accepting those weaknesses and working on those weaknesses. Oh my God, it's not easy. And that is why you need someone, person who you can trust, who's qualified, who's capable, and who'll help you. So you need to really work on, someone needs to ask you very important questions like, have I lost my job? Are you asking to be investment myself?
So, basically, here you are telling that you've lost a job, your financial stability is at a question mark, and we are telling you to invest in yourself. Is this the right time? I don't want to do it because I don't know how will my house run if I don't get job on time. I don't know what is going to be the time span where I will get a job. And amidst this uncertainties, you're asking me to invest in myself. But dear friends, if your finances are in this stage that you don't know how to run your house for the next 3 months, 6 months without a salary, then take this as a warning that you're not planning your finances very well. You need to change the way you spend your money. Salary for everyone, whether you're earning a lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 50 lakh per month. Everyone has a lifestyle and everyone can go beyond their means and spend money.
Absolutely correct.
It's not to do with how much money you're making. It is to do with following the principles of financial planning.
Yes.
So that tomorrow when an emergency comes up, you have a backup. So if you don't have a financial backup plan, remember this permanently in your life. Plan your finances well so that when you hit crisis, and today's scenario, the age that we are living in, we never know what's going to come up. We faced COVID. There were financial crises because of again losing jobs or health reasons. All of a sudden, family going through so much of medical issues.
Very true.
So emergencies will keep coming up.
So you need to invest on yourself. There's a client of mine, I'll give you an example here. He was working in a company, 12 lakh rupees was his salary. COVID came and it came to 6 lakh rupees. So he was not able to manage his household also because he was married. Then he came to, I said, but these are my fees. He said, okay, I'll go for it. I said, great, I like that courage. So I gave him some options to pay. And you will not believe, in just a span of 1 year, okay, so first in a span of 4 months, we could get him a job worth 20 lakh rupees package because he had come to 6 lakh. And then we started working and we could get him a company in Canada, which is a Canada-based company, paid in Canadian dollars, and he has to work from India. That's the beauty. And the package was 13 to 14 times more. Then today he's a rich guy because it's sitting in India and the money that is coming is millions coming here, okay? Because he's not need to go there and work. So he invested in himself, and in just a span of 1 year, one and a half year, he could get that company, Canadian company, with that kind of salary.
So his salary actually from what it was, it grew 9x times.
Yeah.
So dear friends, investing in yourself is a good thing at this particular time only when you need it. Now, once this has happened, then the next thing for you to do is work on job search. Practical actions have to be there, right? And what are these actions?
Absolutely.
Time to update your CV, your LinkedIn profile, and then start reaching out to the right network so that interviews start happening. Now, if you have not been networking earlier, fair enough, the time is now.
Absolutely.
So start networking with people so that you keep getting calls for interviews.
And there can be no better platform than LinkedIn. That's something we are very strong believer. By and large, 95% of our clients, if they have got a breakthrough, it's because of LinkedIn.
So start working on your LinkedIn profile, your CV, reach out to the right people and start giving interviews. But before giving interviews, let me warn you, it's very, very, very important to really be thoroughly prepared. If you're not in the right mindset, you won't be able to crack it. And you will settle for something less, either in your job profile or in your remuneration.
So most important, point number 8, never settle for something lesser than what you deserve, no matter what situation you are. Because that will create a much bigger dent in your career than being laid off. Because you settle lesser position, lesser salary, which means you convinced yourself and others that you're not capable. It's not about the money. It's about the mental situation that you would reach to. And then you feel frustrated when you see people lower than you have a much better salary. So everyone in the world knows layoffs are happening. So no need to feel any less than any other candidate who has applied for that role. No one can take away the work and experience that you have gathered in this year. All the achievements that you have, all what you've done, nobody. Just be honest. Put your best foot forward and you will get the job that you desire and deserve. And this is not a feel-good factor. This we have done with a lot of people.
So one of my clients went through this particular situation,
Yes.
but it was all to do with office politics. So she went through that whole thing. She was laid off, and laid off happens in very different ways, right? There's a time when they want to target you, they will create an environment that you will actually put down your papers.
Absolutely.
And something similar happened with her and she had to resign. But you know, the fact that she reached that situation and she had to go through all of this and no one stood by her, put her into such a low phase of life that she underwent depression for a few months.
Yep.
And after that, when she started gathering herself up and she wanted to reach out and give interviews, there were very few, and whichever came, because she was not in the right mindset, she didn't get a breakthrough.
Yes.
So it took her literally 11 months to figure out that she needs to reach out for help. She's not going to be able to do it on her own.
Very true.
That's the time probably she came across a few of my posts from my clients. She reached out to me. We started working together. And in 6 months' time, she got a job. The profile is the profile of her choice.
Yes.
The company is as good as the organization because she's still working in the MNC. She's loving what she's doing and the salary is 10% more than what she was drawing earlier.
Yes.
So she didn't suffer a hike. I mean, she in fact got a 10% hike in her existing package which she had left 18 months back.
Yes.
She got a better job profile than what she was doing and she loves what she is doing. And finally, she's in a good organization where she can see her growth or future prospect for at least coming 5 years. Now, dear friend, all this can happen because I prepared her for the interview. I prepared all these steps which I told you. Everything was done.
Absolutely.
But I also had told her there is no reason for lying. Just be honest.
Yes.
And say that you suffered a setback in your professional front, but these are my strengths. This is what I'm capable of. This is how I've kept myself upbeat in knowledge and skills, and I've utilized this time for this reason. And believe me, friends, the interviewers really appreciated her honesty and they took her without any hesitations. So remember one thing, it's so damn important to be honest. At the same time, I'm not telling you to present your weakness. Play on your strengths. Once you're playing on your strength, you're putting your best foot forward. There is no one who can stop you from getting a great job.
And last part, okay, is that I'm 100% sure if you follow what we are saying and if you do this, you are going to get the job. That's 100% sure. But once you get the job, what is very, very crucial and important, that not to make the same mistakes, whatever that you have done in the past. All you should have a game plan, a very important game plan. And what is that game plan going to be? How will you create a massive impact in the first 90 days in your new job so that you gain that visibility and then you are able to create a future for yourself in the organization. That's what we have done with many of our clients, that when they got that job, we just work on that first 90 days, that how will you create that impact? How will you create that massive impact that there is a massive visibility, which is the why you are all of a sudden seen everywhere.
Right? And that is what my clients definitely in their first year in their new job have got good appraisals and great hike in spite of it just being the first year in their new job.
Absolutely. There's a client of mine, he just finished 8 months and then, he's a techie guy. And I told him, why don't you get into something that is called as innovation, which the company needs. And 8 months without, anybody telling him, he spent few hours every day to do that innovation. He created a patent and he filed that patent for the company. The company is so excited because they are going to, it's going to help them a lot and it's going to help them revenue-wise, some few millions of dollars. Let me tell you, friend, what's the most beautiful thing that happened with him? He received last month, that's in November, a bonus of 12 lakh rupees. A bonus or incentive of 12 lakh rupees as a gratitude for the company for what he did. And not only that, since it's in MNC, the parent company sitting there, the CTO has started interacting with him and telling people here that please focus on this guy because he has a lot of ideas. Let's see what more he can do. That's what we're talking here.
So dear friends, if anyone of you like Gagandeep, I hope I've answered all your questions and the way forward. If you still feel you need any clarity, definitely reach out to us. You can DM me and we will help you go through these steps and find a way out to get a new job. And if you know anyone who's gone through this in your inner circle, in your colleagues, friends, please ask them to watch this live once again. It'll be there on my page. Let us help people who are really in dire need. And you are the ones who are attending this live, that you can help us reach out to many more people. So thank you very much.
Before that, Gagandeep, there's an offer from my side, okay? Because it's not easy to bear where you are. I'm giving you this open offer. Please connect to us. I will give you 2 free sessions from my side to able to at least sort out things for you, get you in the right place, see what best I can do. This is worth almost 50,000 rupees that I'm going to give you completely free. Please DM us, please connect to us, and I promise you I'll do this for you. From my side, a small little offer to help you to get that job.
So guys, thank you very much
Yes.
for coming here live for today's session, introducing yourself for the others who didn't put their names. Even then, if you have this challenge, do reach out to us, and I promise you we'll do all that is in our capability to help you get a new job.
Thank you all, thank you everybody, and see you next Friday 9 p.m. on How to Ace Your Career. Good night, God bless, bye-bye.
Have a great weekend, dear friends.